I wanted to ask you about today's market. We hear a lot of things on the television and the news. Can a person, say even a new person, really buy property at a good value right now in today's market?
Well, it's actually a tremendous time to buy, and it's a great value. There's a lot of ways of looking at it in terms of the cost of real estate. And when you look at what you can get a lot of these properties for in terms of resale properties, it would cost you more to build that property than it would to buy it because there's a large inventory. And in terms of new people, I mean, really it's all set up and designed for the new people because they don't have any of the baggage of the past.
Right,
they can come in and really take advantage of the marketplace. And sometimes it is a little more difficult in terms of qualifying. A lot of the programs that we had that were, maybe contributing to some of the problems of the past, they're gone. It's now you're going to have to really have a down payment. You're going to have decent credit. You're going to have a job.
Right.
Because I saw people without any of those things asking how they could get in and buy real estate 5 years ago.
Right. And that's a great thing too. One of the things that I really like about real estate, especially on the residential side, is that there are creative ways also that we can address to tell people about how they can invest in property. You mentioned the land installment contract, but not getting into some very, very technical kinds of things. I'd like to say that one of the critical things that we believe at Real Smart Investor is that they must have a team of professionals to work with to help them and to guide them, especially in times like these. Would you agree with that?
Well, sure. Let's say that you wanted to buy a home and you were a regular homeowner, a regular person out there just with a job. And what's going to happen? How are you going to know what to do? When you call somebody like me, I'm going to administer the test. If you're not prepared for that test, how well do you think you're going to do?
Exactly.
Whereas if you have people who are there to advise you, consult with you, guide you through the preparation for that test, seems to me you're going to be a lot better off.
A lot better off. And what happens right now, people aren't able to really make a lot of sense out of different markets. For example, I know that in DC, excuse me, in DC the market is very hot. In certain areas in PG, it's stalled to some degree. So new people, new students, new people that want to grow wealth by investing in real estate, it's incumbent upon them to understand those different markets. And the best way to do that is by utilizing a team of professionals that we are, and because our resources become their resources in essence. Okay, my background, my skill set, my knowledge base is given to them, and yours is as well. So what I may not know, you being the loan officer lender on the instructor team would be able to fill in for those students. And so they get the kind of practical knowledge that they would not get from a book, that they can't get from a seminar. And when we actually do a real deal, they're going to actually see up close and personal what's being done. And your part in that's going to be really critical. And what is it that you're going to be doing in that training?
I think what you've said is true. What it really brings to mind for me is that it's all a moving target. Everything is changing all the time. Whether it's the real estate being on one side of the street or the other, or the loan qualifications that are constantly evolving. The underwriting guidelines as they continue to shift and develop. We have to be able to go in and take advantage of those because they do create opportunities. Everybody's situation is different. But also, again, to prepare for it so that we can become eligible to borrow money, to buy real estate. Because unless you have cash, you're going to borrow money. And that's really where I'm going to be able to help, is I'm going to be able to prepare you to be eligible to borrow money to buy real estate.
Even if a person has bad credit, you'll be able to help them, you think?
When you've got bad credit, a lot of times you don't understand why you have bad credit. So we go in at no cost and evaluate somebody's credit profile, figure out what's wrong with it, what's good about it, and a lot of times there's just inaccurate information on there that you're not getting credit for the good work that you've already done. So we have what we've called a credit review and dispute pack, and I'll show you step by step how to improve your credit profile, get rid of some of the stuff that maybe shouldn't be on there. And I'm not going to do this for you and charge you a fee. I'm going to show you how to do it yourself online. And then once you've done it, you're going to have great credit really for the rest of your life, because you're going to understand what it takes to have good credit and how to prioritize the right information.
And you said this is free, because I constantly see signs and advertisements about, change your credit score and all this kind of thing. And honestly, I have seen enough to know they don't work. But most people don't understand there's a process, and you're going to outline a process for them. And for free,
That's right.
That's great. So it's very important, I think, that we reiterate that the Real Smart Investor method gives students the 3 things that they need to successfully invest in real estate. And the first thing is understanding that the attitude has to be commensurate with what real estate is all about. Real estate is not a get-rich-quick kind of opportunity. They have to be committed. They have to look at real estate as a business, and they have to develop what we call a strategic real estate investment plan. The second part of it is where we come in. They have to work with licensed professionals that will guide them and help them execute their plan. And the third thing is they've got to learn how to invest by actually investing. And that's what our method really brings to the fore. We allow our students to participate with us, the instructors and the expert investors, as we actually do a real deal in the real world. And that's a moving target, as you said. Are there any final thoughts you have on our process as compared to what is out here right now?
I think one of the big points that you made is that this is an investment. And it's not a lottery. We're not spinning a wheel. Investing by its own nature is that you make a commitment today. You put in money, time, energy, effort today to have a return later, and a recurring return in terms of real estate. What other investment do you have where you can own a piece of real estate, get the benefit of appreciation of that asset, and have somebody else potentially pay that bill in terms of a monthly mortgage payment for it? You can't buy stock and have somebody else buy it for you and then gain the appreciation.
Right.
Yet we can do that with real estate. As Americans, we've all decided that we're going to support home ownership. And we're allowing each other this opportunity. So knowing how to take advantage of that, knowing how to benefit from the relationships that can be created, really is not just common knowledge. And for guys like you and me, it takes 20, 25 years to grow in that knowledge and to understand really not only how to benefit from the marketplace, but also to how to avoid the pitfalls. Because there are catastrophic, destructive forces out there that can ruin you so fast. And to know what to avoid.
Right.
Equally important. So not only can we show you what to do and how to benefit and how to prepare for the opportunities, but also what to avoid so that you're not just wiped out instantly.
And great, and I think that's a great recap, ending to what we've talked about, because it's so important. And I know that my mission has been to really help people grow wealth by real estate investing, and that's a long-term commitment. And we as licensed professionals, we are committed to our clients for the long term. And that's one of the great things about the Real Smart Investment Method, is that we are here on board to help them in the capacity that they need help with.
I think that anybody who's thinking about buying a piece of real estate, even if it's in the next year or two, would benefit from coming and learning not only some of the components of the process, but meeting some of the people that really are expert in this field and that can really begin to prepare you for that test when it comes.
Great, Paul. We thank you.
Nate,
Become a real smart investor.